Good morning. So I am here with Officer Detective Larry Brown?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I am going to be asking you some questions about the legality of Snapchat and where we get in trouble as teenagers on Snapchat.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm a teenager, and we were just discussing this before I started filming, and I did not realize how much trouble teenagers can get in when they are sending inappropriate pictures to each other. So if I'm a teenager and I freely send a picture of an inappropriate picture of myself out into the world or to a specific person who is also a teenager, can you just explain to me what kind of problem and what kind of trouble I will be in?
Well, being under 18 years old and taking a picture of you nude, whether you're male or female, when you generate that picture and you send it out on social media, that's a felony crime. That's pandering obscenities of a minor.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a felony of the second degree. Just because you created it, you produced it, and you send it out into social media.
Oh wow, that is really a lot of trouble to get into. Just because I want to, I'm caught up in the moment and I send something, I probably know that it's wrong and I do it anyway, and then I get myself in trouble and I get you in trouble, the person that I sent it to.
It could be correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what kind of trouble is that? So what happens if I'm caught and prosecuted?
If technically somebody would be caught and prosecuted for this, it's pandering obscenities of a minor. It's a felony of the second degree. Now, it would be through the juvenile court system, but the problem with that also is it makes you a Tier 2 sex offender, which means you're a registered sex offender for 25 years. And you register your address every 6 months for 25 years.
Even if I'm like 16?
Even if you're 16, it could be correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so big mistake.
Correct.
Big mistake for a moment of impulse.
Correct.
Impulsive, reactive moment. Huge mistake. Can follow me for years and years and years.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And the person that receives that message could also be in trouble because they are possessing it, which that's pandering obscenity in itself, and it's a felony of the 4th degree for just possessing it.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
Okay.
if I have that picture that somebody sent me and I either save it or I send it out to another friend or I show other people or I send it out, that bumps that up to a felony too, because now you are also recreating that picture and sending it out through social media. So now you are also a felony too of the second degree of pandering obscenities involving a minor.
That is a nightmare.
Correct.
That is an absolute nightmare. Okay, so another question that I get from parents all the time, beside the obvious sexting question, is if my child takes a picture and there's alcohol or any type of vaping material or any type of drug paraphernalia, what kind of trouble are they in? And they get caught. What kind of trouble are they in?
With just the pictures, it's not going to be criminal for us.
Okay.
We get this reported through our SRO offices in our jurisdiction here. We'll get these turned over to us. Parents find them, students find them, turn them over to our school resource officers. With that, it can be a school violation.
Okay.
It can be a sport violation.
Yes.
But it puts us on alert because we do random checks. We do random drug checks. We run our dogs through the schools. We do whatever. So if we know that there's certain individuals that are posting that they're partying, that they're doing alcohol, that they're doing drugs, we'll run dogs through parking lots. We run them past your lockers. We would kind of focus on these individuals that we know are posting that they are using drugs.
Oh my gosh. But I thought Snapchat, it's all deleted.
It is deleted, but it is also, it can be screenshotted by the individual receiving it,
Right.
or if it comes down to it, if I need that information for a criminal investigation, I can retrieve that information through the cell phone that it was sent to. So even though it's deleted from the phone, it is still in the memory of the phone. So I'm not the IT guy, but I take the phone and give it to our IT guy, and he goes into your phone, and even though you delete a picture, you delete a Snapchat, you delete text, it is still in the memory of your phone. So we can go into the phone and we can retrieve that information.
Oh my goodness.
So it's never actually gone. It's never deleted.
Wow. Okay, next question that I got from parents is, when does we're on a group text. When does bullying cross the line?
Bullying would cross the line into criminal. Well, there's two different ways of this. If somebody's being teased or they're being harassed, you need to notify your SRO officer, notify your local police department, notify somebody so that we can document it. We can get the individuals and we can contact them and tell them, hey, quit calling this person, quit texting this person, you're harassing them. Once we establish that boundary that, you know, you guys have crossed the line, you're bullying them, stop it, and they do it again, then we can go with criminal charges. With, you know, whether it's menacing or disorderly conduct, telecommunication harassments, we can go with that. But it has to be reported to us first.
Okay.
If they cross the line and they're not just teasing them that you're heavy, you're ugly, you're this, you're that,
right.
whatever they're bullying them or teasing
right.
them with, if it crosses the line to where they're threatening them with physical bodily harm, or they're threatening their property, they're threatening their family with physical harm, then we can act immediately, and you're looking at aggravated menacing charges.
Wow.
That would cross over into criminal through the threats through the Snapchat.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea. So how can I talk to, so I have young teenagers and I have preteens, I have 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
How can I talk to them about not being impulsive and not, to basically stay away from sending pictures, using really bad language, making threats, some of which I think that you would just snap and do it. But if you realize the consequences, maybe it'll make you think twice. I don't know. What can I do besides just sitting them down and scaring them?
Because when you act impulsively, we as law enforcement are not in your head. When you tell us,
right.
hey, I sent this text out, I was just kidding. We can't say that we know you and we know that you were just kidding and you aren't really not going to do this tomorrow. You're not really going to do this. We have to act on what you wrote and what you posted, or what is actual the content in there. We don't act on, I really didn't mean it. So the pictures that they send, they're never gone. They're always out there. Wow. So whatever they send is always out there. The text message, the threat contents, we have to act on that. And unfortunately, in this day and age, we have to refer them to the juvenile court system, because it would be a severe liability on us if we didn't act and somebody did follow through with a threat or something that they posted. If we neglected to do something, that would fall back on us. So
wow. How young have you noticed that Snapchat is trending and people getting in trouble on Snapchat?
Well, roughly 10 years and up. 10 years old and up.
No way. You're not even really supposed to be on Snapchat at 10 years.
No, it used to be a long time ago. I believe Snapchat was 18 and they dropped it back to 13. So right now it's 13.
13. And then if you lie about your age and they find you, you can get blocked. You can get taken off.
Correct.
But that probably doesn't preclude me from just making another alias.
Creating a new alias account.
Yes,
correct.
Yes. And Snapchat can be used for students ages 10, but you're supposed to be filtered into Snapchat Kids, which has some restricted
correct
uses for the application.
Correct.
Wow. So Ohio just passed a law, I believe, making any tobacco product under the age of 21 illegal.
Correct.
So any type of vaping that I'm doing is illegal?
Correct.
Okay. So again, though, I can't necessarily get in trouble for taking pictures of myself vaping or drinking when I'm under 21 and sending them out on Snapchat. But that doesn't mean that it won't come back to haunt me.
Correct.
Because my school
Your school
could get me into big trouble.
Correct.
And then I could be caught. So for instance, I have heard of cases where people are out drinking and they snap pictures of themselves and they're drinking, and then they're pulled over, and those pictures are used against them as part of a file.
That would be correct, because then we would have them in person. We would have the odor of the alcoholic beverage on their breath. You would have the slurred speech. Bloodshot eyes. We would have other factors to go with that. So that would be a contributing factor. Would be the pictures that you posted
that are time stamped.
Correct.
Yes, and then sometimes you can have that location.
Correct.
On there. Speaking of location, I have one more issue to talk with you about. Can we talk about the fact that strangers can find you if your location is on Snapchat?
Yes.
Okay, so they can find me.
Correct.
They can. And if I just friend everyone, or if I don't put on any privacy little restrictions on my Snap app, then people can just look around. There's a filter now where you can find people who are in your vicinity.
Correct.
And I mean, that has to scare people to death with kids.
I would hope so.
I mean, I think that people my age and older, I think I'm probably older than you are, we understand Facebook, and we understand, I think we're starting to understand Instagram a little bit, but I think there's almost zero understanding of Snapchat.
Well, the kids understand Snapchat because that's their area. They're in Snapchat, so they understand the Snapchat. But the older generation, they're not educated in Snapchat.
Now, what would you tell parents and educators? I work with a lot of librarians as well. Do you think you should get on Snapchat and start using it and really just ramp your knowledge up of it? Because I don't think it's going away.
It's not going away. It's a site that, when you send something that disappears, there's already something up with that. The best way to do it is unfortunately for us, being older, your kids probably know more about their cell phone and computers than we do.
Right.
So hopefully they're not sneakier than us. But if you know the kids, you need to know their username and their password so that you can keep up with them. Another good way is if they're on Snapchat, be one of their friends. Be on their friends' posts so that you can see what they're posting and what they're doing. You won't actually see private pictures and private conversations back and forth, but you can at least see what they're posting and what they're up to and what they're doing, and at least monitor it a little bit that way if they are going to have a Snapchat. There are also apps that I know that are out there that are like spy apps and spy and stuff like that you can get from your Google Play applications. The paid ones are better than the free ones.
Oh, okay.
Technically what you do is you have to download that app onto your child's phone. And then from that, you can put your contact number in there, and then you are receiving all of the Snapchat, Facebook, text messaging, phone calls that they are sending and receiving. You are getting a copy of them live as they're sending back and forth.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so if I do have a circumstance where I do find that my teenager is just not making responsible decisions, or I feel like, I just really need to monitor them, I can download something from my Google Play Store, and I can get that.
You have to download it onto their phone.
Onto their phone.
Yeah, it has to be downloaded onto their phone. You put the program on their phone, you put your passcodes on it so that they can't delete it, and then you have it sent to your phone. And there are applications that will allow you to do that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate this. You have been a wealth of information, and I think that a lot of parents and educators are going to be really excited to watch this and hopefully just glean the information and the pieces of a really serious topic. And then maybe hopefully we encourage people to get on and to talk with their students about using this app, because I think it is a really cool app. But you do have to be very, I think, aware of what can happen with it.
Correct.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.